The viral Blake Lively interview that went everywhere and caused all the It Ends With Us drama. Kjersti is back. Has Blake Lively responded and apologized to her? Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm so glad to have Kjersti Flaa is back. Welcome, Kjersti. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me back. It was such a blast the first time.
Yeah, well, I had to have you back because I've been so impressed with what you've been doing on your channel, and we do have some updates, guys. There's some drama. Kjersti's boyfriend interviewed Blake Lively as well, and it's hilarious. We're going to talk about that, along with Blake Lively's response to all this drama. I'm so curious to hear your take on it all. But before we go there, I don't want to tease too much. I have to know. The audience still wants to know. I've said this in all my shows and all my videos I've done about Blake. I'm like, this is such an easy thing to put the kibosh on. Literally, I'll write a note to you, apologize, say I'm so sorry. I was having baby brain. I was having a bad day. I realized we didn't treat you very fairly. It's not okay. I want to ensure that you come to the next junket so we can properly shake hands and do it again. Then you make a second viral moment, right, for her. No-brainer. Has anybody from Blake Lively or her team yet reached out to apologize or set that up?
No, I haven't heard anything from them. To be honest, Andy, I didn't expect them to reach out to me either. And I feel now it's a little too late. So yes, the answer is no. I have not heard from anyone in her circle or even a source close to her I haven't heard from. So yeah.
Shameful. Such an easy thing to fix. The right thing to do as well. And I agree now at this point, it's probably too far, too gone. But I hope, I don't know, if she does another junket, it would be smart marketing. If she were, let's put it out there. I'm sure her team's watching this. If she were to do another junket for her next movie and they were to invite you to have that moment to do the right thing, would you accept?
Oh my God, that is a very hard question to answer. Well, I don't know.
What are your terms?
What I don't know. What would I ask her? I've had to think about that. I think it would be just the most awkward situation ever. I think, especially if we pretend like nothing happened. If I would say yes to something like that, it would have to be because she had something to say to me, or that we would have a talk about what happened. But it would be really weird if I just walk in there and start like interviewing her like nothing happened.
Well,
I am pretty sure she saw the
I
interview.
assume she'd start it with an apology. If that's how it started, would you be open?
Yeah, sure. I'm always accepting apologies. It's like I am a completely 100% for all apologies. I think it's the best thing we have in the world.
And she owes you one, to be fair. So does Parker Posey. I think both of them were incredibly mean. You make a good point in this video, which we're going to watch in a second, guys. So stay tuned. If you want to watch it, the whole video, it's really cute. You and your boyfriend seems awesome. You two are adorable together. And there's some stuff they go through, but you also show some clips of how she was on Kelly and whatever. And literally, first thing Kelly Ripa asks is about the pregnancy bump. And, oh, how'd you lose it? And with her, it seems to be no big problem. Pretty amazing, the hypocrisy and the clips you've pulled from various interviews where Blake had no issue with them. Wow, I don't know, you've said it, but it's bizarre, no?
Yeah, it's the first thing she actually mentioned in that interview with Kelly Ripa. Because she walks in there holding, like, I don't remember if she was holding onto her tummy, but and then Kelly Ripa said, oh, do you get bigger the second time? And she's like, yeah, you do. And started talking about how she felt bigger and she couldn't really fit into that dress or whatever. And then she started talking about her other kids and pointing out her mom and dad who was in the audience. It was all very personal. So, and then Kelly Ripa said that she admired her so much for getting back into shape so fast after her first pregnancy. And then they showed a picture of her in a bikini. And I was like, okay, if that's okay, then just me congratulating her on the bump. It's not okay. That's weird. Don't you think?
Yeah. No, 100% weird. And I want to bring it up because it sounds like you did this. You did talk to some other interviewers and you verified that part of the reason this was so offensive and mean, and you seem to imply it in the last one, but I didn't want to prod because this is a personal thing to reveal. But you were struggling with infertility at the time. And that made the whole interaction even more traumatizing because when she threw it back to you as, how's your little bump? That can mess with your brain to be like, well, I can't have a bump. And it's just, it adds to the incredible rudeness that she still is unable to accept. But yes, am I correct in assuming that that's part of the reason why this was traumatizing as The Independent was labeling it?
Yeah, I mean, of course. But first, when she said it, I felt like, oh, do I look fat in this shirt? That was my first reaction. But then, of course, she hit a little nerve. And then it wasn't like I was struggling right then with infertility. I could never have children. So for me, that was, it was something that I've been aware of. And it's a vulnerable spot for me and something that I haven't spoken about before. So, of course, she didn't know that. So I can't blame her for doing that to me because she had no idea that that was my personal thing. But of course, that's something that I have to deal with. So I don't blame her for that. But I do blame her for saying congrats on my little bump when I didn't have one, because I think that was out of line.
Well, her reaction, before we get to the clip of your boyfriend, her reaction to all this is that she's upset. It all felt very out of control for her. She's surprised at the backlash and the drama. She initially felt very vulnerable and upset, adds the source. This is from a source, to be fair, but People Magazine usually has direct sources from their reps. During the promotion of the movie, not one day went by when she was not in the news in an unfavorable light. She's just not used to this kind of drama. The situation felt out of control to her. She enjoys working and will continue to push forward projects that she's excited about. So what do you think about her being upset by this all? What's your reaction?
I think she should definitely fire her PR team. That's what I think, because this is not helping her. I mean, it just seems like she's entitled when she says something like that. Own up to your mistakes. I think people will like you so much more if you do that, and people will forgive you if you do that. But if you keep saying, like, I am upset, it reminds me a little bit of when Will Smith finally came back with some kind of apology, which was like, I have forgiven myself. And it was like, okay, you're not the person that needs forgiveness here. It's the other people you hurt. And I feel Blake Love is kind of on that same, track a little bit, but it's like, it's all about her. And she still doesn't recognize them. But I don't know if that comes from her directly or if someone's just saying that, because I'm sure it's just a source. So who knows? I don't know.
It's interesting because she's apologized before when she had her silly post about Catherine Middleton, Princess Catherine.
But I'm not Princess Catherine.
You're not, I guess.
No.
None of us are. And don't be offended, of course. But the point is she can apologize when it's really bad. So it isn't like she's always stubborn. But
I think she can apologize. I think she can apologize if it's someone important, like a princess. If it's a freelance journalist from Norway, it doesn't matter so much. Can I say that?
Yeah, I made a silly post about the Photoshop fails frenzy. Oh man, that post has me mortified. I'm sorry, sending love. Again, this only made me like her more because sure, she made a little joke. We all were confused by the Photoshop. Just apologize. Her fans will like her. The critics will like her. I agree. Her publicist doesn't seem to be helping matters, but we shall see. I think you're right. You probably won't hear, but I keep hoping. That said, while we wrap up, hopefully as we get close to wrapping up our Blake Lively topics, I'm sure you're getting sick of her too. I did want to call this out.
People are getting sick of it. They're telling me to stop. So
stop. I don't know, but please, if it's relevant, this felt relevant, and I found this very interesting. Seeing your
the chair or him.
So this is Magnus. Your boyfriend is there and is into the simple favor junket.
Okay, so if you could just kind of favor your right side, so just shift over in your seat a little. No, to your right. Over this side.
Oh, like that.
There you go.
Like that didn't bother me. It's kind of cute.
This is.
She's like laughing at how silly the whole thing.
Magnus from Sweden.
How do you say your name?
Magnus Sundholm.
Oh,
Magnus
close.
Sundholm.
Yeah, it was.
She thought it was said
from Sweden.
Very good.
Okay.
Show me that again. Got it.
Okay, you have speed.
Magnus,
Yes.
when I saw you earlier, you said, "Oh, let me get a shot," and I thought you meant of alcohol, but you meant a photograph. So guess what? Time to put up.
And what are we drinking?
Did he get a shot of her? Did he get the photo?
So Magnus is also a photographer, and they had a photo shoot set up for him to take a photo of her. So that's
but not with him like a selfie. This was like he's taking it for professional purposes.
Yeah.
She makes it sound like, oh, you asked for a photo of me, so now I got to do this.
No.
He's there doing his job. Let's not forget that. Correct?
Yeah.
And so now it's like 8 a.m. and she's now putting her husband's gin all over his face. She's literally taken over the interview. He's got not a chance to say anything. You have 4 minutes in these junkets. 4 minutes.
Asian American gin, who's owned by a very, very sexy man, who also happens to be my husband.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know. So let's see. Let's see what you think.
We're starting early.
Yeah, we are starting early. What better time to start?
Cheers.
Cheers. How does the taste test happen?
It is good.
Oh, your voice went higher an octave. Come on, just shoot it. Just shoot it.
I'll be
The
singing
interview
if
will
I
be
finish
so much
this.
more interesting. We just do like straight shots.
But I hear you don't drink, right?
I don't drink. No, this is coffee. But it's
So-
in a martini glass. Isn't that classy?
So she's lying.
Actually, I don't even like coffee, but I drink it because I love the way they crush the beans and they talk about it and the story of the, the origin of them and, the milk and the foaming it and all of that.
Really usable stuff for Magnus, isn't it, Kjersti?
Definitely. And especially because in Scandinavia, it's illegal to advertise for alcohol.
So she snuck this product placement in on his 4 minutes of promotional time, which is his job to deliver some nice, interesting quote for this dumb movie that we're all there. That's the thing I think most people forget. You're there. When I've done junkets, we're there to help promote their movie. It's a job. Sometimes it's fun because you like the actor. I know. Obviously, you've met good ones, but more often than not, I bet you're more annoyed to be there and just try to stress to make sure you get a good soundbite for the job, correct?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that is, as you know how it works. So, when someone starts asking you a lot of questions or just talk about a topic you're not there for, it just feels like a waste of time for everyone, really.
Yeah, this was a complete
and the same
waste
thing
of
with
time. You can watch the whole
alcohol, and I hear
interaction.
about,
how Prov, give him a round of applause for me. Handled that like a pro. Such an awkward situation. It keeps going and going, and she just sits there for literally 2 of the 4 minutes promoting her husband's gin. And then even as it continues, she spins the bottle, which you made a point, you can't really show it. She makes a point to spin the bottle to show the aviation gin the whole time. So you're promoting this alcohol that no one asked him to do, and he didn't get paid to do. Typically, you get paid to do promotions like that. So it was just, yet again, more just tone deaf, just inappropriate-ness from her that isn't helping. Would you agree?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think this is some of the criticism, or a lot of it, that she's gotten from It Ends With Us as well, that she's been pushing products instead of talking about, the essence of the movie. And that movie's message is so much more important than a simple favor. But it's don't they have enough money? Why do they even sold this? I think he sold this brand for probably $1 billion or something.
I think he did. I think he's the face of it still for a little while. It's part of the deal, but then I think he's already auctioned it off to somebody else, which is good for him, man. He's made money. I've always liked Ryan Reynolds. It's annoying me that I have to keep calling out his wife. I don't like to call out anybody's wife, but
I like him too, for the record. I've interviewed him many times, and I really like Ryan Reynolds. He's super nice and always professional. And I think he said in an interview once, he said, I never want to be one of those people who kiss up and kick down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a little bit what Blake is doing.
Yeah, I can attest. I've worked with Ryan personally. He was the nicest Canadian guy, super giving and creative, and that's why this whole thing's weird for me, because I don't get that vibe from what I'm seeing. And again, such an easy apology. This is right here. She's the example. I hope she wises up and does it. So excited to have you back, guys. Make sure you subscribe. And guess what? We're going to make a part 2 over on Kjersti's channel. I'm going to open up. I had an idea for him. You know what? I've been watching your content. You've been doing so many little fun stories from your junket experience and bloopers and the biggest person who did this. And I was like, ooh, what if you invited others to share their junket experiences?
Yes.
I got a Keanu Reeves story. So we're going to talk about that over there. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe here as well. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell for all alerts. Smash that thumbs up as well. And stay tuned for more. And yes, Kjersti, I mean it. I hope we can, if I ever get a chance to get into a junket and I can't go, I'm calling you first. And sicken you that junket if you'll do it. Because I'd love to partner up on some more junkets because you're flawsome. So thank you as much.
Thank you.
Yes, and stay tuned. I'll be over there. Stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm in London now, but thank gosh, Flaa gave us some amazing content while I'm gone. Click the rest of it in the meanwhile. I'm tired.